Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. I am back in the his house and you know what I'm going to be discussing right now. I didn't say I was going to be discussing. I didn't even say I was going to review it or watch it, but I am. We are back with Love Island Series 12. We now have episode 1 to discuss and to speak about and dissect and all those good things. But before we get into this episode, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so we know when I do videos. Please comment, like, share and do the good things that you do, because you know I'm on the road to 1K. And as you will see, I don't have my regular setup right now. So hopefully my phone microphone will pick up what I need you to hear about what it is that I'm putting down. Okay, so we are back in the madhouse. There's lots of twists and turns that are wait us on this road to, like, you know, love with the UK Love Islanders. But you know, all I'm gonna say is Maya look goody. Maya's always looking stush because all the men want to be with her and all the girls want to be her. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it out there. We can't deny it. Maya looks stush every single time. So we have 12 singles looking for love. So we see the introductory of these 12 singles first. So we see Sophie Lee, then we see Harry, we see Dejan. He's a gorgeous dark-skinned black man. Yeah. And sometimes the Love Island girls love them darkness. Let me just put it that way. Sometimes, yeah. Okay? But it's more, I would say, the dark-skinned women that don't wholly get represented through this show. That is not necessarily the preference of everybody within it. So we'll see how it goes from there. So then we have Meg. Her name is Megan, but we'll call her Meg for shorten her name because there is another Megan in here too. Yeah, and I'm gonna say on first impressions only, she is the expected look that you would normally get with Love Islanders. Let me just put it this way. I'm gonna call them the carbon cutters of Love Island. Yeah, there's a certain aesthetic that Love Islanders normally have, and Meg has that at the end of the day. So then we end up meeting Blue. Again, carbon cutty Love Island aesthetic. Then we have Tommy. Not necessarily carbon cutter Love Island aesthetic, not my type at all, but you know, he's gonna be somebody's person. Let's just put it this way. I mean, they can't just go just off looks because he may have a good personality too, but we'll see. So the next up is Connor. And all I'm going to say is his intro did not do him justice as hell. He looks short as all get out. I just hope if he is short, he ain't got fucking Napoleon complex. Let's just put it this way, you know, aka short man syndrome. I just hope that does not happen. So then next we see Shakira, and she will see what she brings. She's a dark-haired beauty, but she doesn't look like your normal cookie-cutter Love Island look. Okay, so then we have Alima, who is a dark-skinned beauty. I'm hoping against hope that they don't use her as the token black girl like they always like to do up in this show. And I'm hoping that they actually put people in there that prefer dark-skinned black girls. Let me just put it that way, because it's too often than not, okay, we have, like, was it the previous one? It wasn't it? It was the previous one. When we had the two, Josh and Mimi, who won, that was a first. That was a first. Let me put it this way. Long may it continue, but that was a damn first. Okay, so then we have Ben. I must say, from jump, I already didn't like the look of this man, but we'll see if he changes my mind. So next up we have Megan, who is also another dark-haired beauty, but she seems as well like the cookie cutter island type of gal to me, but we'll see how it goes from there. So next up we have Helena. She's blonde, she's statuesque. She looks kind of different to everybody else. She has her own look going on, but she ain't an ugly girl. Let's just put it that way. She's quite pretty. All I'm going to say is the amount of girls with the little weave clippings and the weave themselves, weave in their head themselves. All I'm hoping is that they brought products to last, because we've seen too many people go up in here, especially the black women that go up in here with the weaves, and they don't have the products in order to make sure that their hair is laid down properly each and every time. The only person I could say that actually kind of looked good throughout the process was Whitney. So in come then we see Shakira and Meg in the open top cars, as you do when they're first going to the island, and then it's, you know, the screams of excitement, and I'm like, get your friendships locked now, because at the end of the day you won't have those friendships come to the end, because some fuckeries will be afoot where you have to put yourself in the competition. We get to meet each and individual Love Islander by their own little blurbs. So we see Meg is 25. She talks about how no one is fit where she works, and she's been single for 4.5 years, and she typically goes for all the red flags. I was like, no wonder why you're freaking single, my gal. At the end of the day, she attracts the wrong ones. She says that she wants a boyfriend and someone to treat her right, and she wants to get away from the bad boys, basically. And I just thought, on that note, you came to bloody Love Island. I was like, okay, maybe therapy may have helped you, yeah, in order to see where it is and why you're picking these guys with the red flags. But I don't think Love Island is going to help you in that aspect, because majority of the people that come in there have waving red flags anyway, looking for love in the wrong places. And I honestly believe that Love Island does not foster good and honest relationships except for the select few, and that's only because both sides are looking for the exact same thing, whereas some people come into this show just to get like notoriety, just to get noticed, just to up their social media presence and stuff like that. They ain't in there for the right reasons. That's the impression that I get at the end of the day. So you see Shakira speaking to Meg, and she talks about, like, you know, she's also a corporate girly just like Meg, and she basically says that she dresses as a princess on the weekend. But the kicker is, Shakira was serious, people. She dresses as a princess on the weekends as a children's entertainer. It was, when she said this to Meg, it was the look on Meg's face when she got exactly what Shakira was saying. She was kind of like, oh, you're a children's entertainer? Okay, not my type of person. That's the look that Meg was giving, let's just put it that way. So then we see Shakira on her blurb. She's 22, she's a marketing engineer. She says that she's all on the apps, and basically she likes everything with a pulse. All I would say is, like, ladies need to hide their men, because she basically says that girls are intimidated by her. So I'm like, oh, she's one of those type of girls, basically. So she says by 25 she wants to be engaged and married and popping out kids. I don't know how that kind of attitude will go down on Love Island at the end of the day. I mean, if they've not watched the previous episodes of Love Island and seen this series in terms of getting the flavour of the men that may come in and out of these situations, they ain't all that serious, to be honest with you. Let's just put it that way. You might get one person out of them that will be serious, but more than likely not the type that Shakira wants. But we'll see how it plays out at the end of the day. As I always say with each and every of my episodes when I do Love Island, I really does not believe it's made up to foster love. Not the love in the way that these women are looking for, or the men may be looking for at the end of the day. Because two people, they have to be on the same page if they're looking for love, if they're looking for longevity, if they're looking for that big old relationship that they say that they're wanting. They have to be on the same page for it, and I really don't think that these people are. They say they want it, but I don't think they're going to get it. Let me just put it that way. At the end of the day, you have 9 weeks in order to get into a stable couple to be able to win £50,000 at the end of this, or a share in £50,000. So that is not going to make a solid couple. Basically, you are just hoping to get to the end with the person that you end up with. Let's just put it that way, because all the games and fuckeries that come afoot will tell you how strong you're going to be with that person. So in comes Sophie and Alima. Sophie and Alima are gorgeous women. Let me just say it that way. Straight off the bat, I'm going to say that I like Sophie and Alima. Straight off the bat. Even before they even opened their mouth and said anything, I like them. But it's just the thing that why do girls have to always scream when they meet each other? And the decibel that these women use was so annoying. So annoying. I'm asking, even though I'm a woman, I don't greet my friends like that. I go up to them and say, how you doing? Good to see you. I ain't seen you for a while. Give them a hug, probably a peck on the cheek. I ain't screaming my shit away till my lungs drop to my feet. That's the problem with these girls. Like, seriously. So we end up seeing Alima. She's 23. She's Scottish. She has brains too. And she basically says that she's single since she can remember. She's a hopeless romantic. And at that point, I'm kind of like, well, why the frick did you choose Love Island? Because, boy, sir, you really are not going to find what you're looking for in this place. She says that she can get the it quite easily. And basically, she wants the princess treatment. We will see who comes in and is able to give her that. Do you know what I mean? So Sophie is 29. She's a brainiac too. Let me just put it that way. She says she's only had one boyfriend and she's dated a lot of red flags. She, to me, Sophie appears to be very confident in setting what she wants. She ain't afraid to push for what she wants, basically. She's hoping for like Prince Charming and a husband and a mate, basically, that she wants to come away with this from. Again, there's only a select few through this process that I found that, like, seriously found that. And I'm gonna be honest, from here, I don't think Sophie's gonna find what she's looking for in this remake, but we'll see what happens with her. So you have two more ladies coming in, and it's Megan and Helen. All I'm gonna say is Helena is Helena, actually. Helena, not Helen. She looks good. Don't get me wrong. She's a pretty girl in her own way, yeah. But all I'm gonna say is it's the suit. Her swimsuit was kind of bagging in the wrong area. Let me just put it that way. When she walked through, her swimsuit was bagging in the wrong area. And if you saw and watched, then you would know exactly what I mean. So we get to see a bit more of Megan, and she is 24. She's from Dublin. She says that she's been single for 2 years. She's sick of dating apps. And I'm like, so you applied to Love Island. You applied to Love Island. She says her type of guy is, she likes a Tim Burton style type of guy. So she likes them looking almost dead. She also likes a ginger man too. She's competitive too, she says. And I'm just like, she has the big talk, but the villas can't mess with your head. All these girls will come in with this confidence, but there's some point within this process that this villa is going to mess with your head. You've got 9 weeks, yeah, and a lot of people are going to come and go within that process of those 9 weeks, and they're all there for one thing, to win some rotted money. They say they're looking for love, as I already said, but I really believe that that will come secondary to the money at the end of the day. So we have Helena. She's 29. She is an air hostess. She basically says that she takes nothing seriously. And on a night basically out, she's like a feral person. So she will literally, as I say, lips up about as many people as she can in one night. She likes short people. She's in... Oh, I thought she's a fucking train wreck waiting to happen. Like, she speaks honestly, yeah, but her honesty ain't gonna do her no favors, especially when it comes to picking men, because boy, sir, I don't even think she knows what she wants herself, to be honest with you. So you see the girls having a chat, and their convo is actually banal, yeah. So they're talking about their icks, and let's just put it this way: the competition has already started for them, because let's not kidda, yeah, they're checking each other out. That's what women do. We will check each other out. We will see who's who and who's about what at the end of the day, and that's what they're doing. So then we see Maya walking to the villa, and wherever you see Maya, you know it's going to be a sticky situation. Let's just put it this way: the fuckeries are about to start, and don't they just, at the end of the day. So she gets each of the girls, sits them down, gets all comfortable with them, starts talking about their types and what they're like, and da. So then she gets them to go to the pool, And by the pool, there are love hearts on the stand, and each have the lads' names on them. And 6 love hearts basically have their dating profile written on them as well. So you see Ben, 23, 6'3", a taxi driver, and his tagline was, "I know I am not a catfish." And I thought, mate, you couldn't come better than that. Like, you seriously couldn't come better than that. Megan believed that he was lying about his height, basically. And Meg said she ain't no fan of the taxi driver comment either. I thought, yeah, kind of superficial on her part, but hey ho, we'll see what else goes on. So then we get to Dejan. On his love heart, he was 26, personal trainer, 6'1". So don't forget, these girls ain't seen these men until they've probably chosen which men they want. They're only going by what's written down on these love hearts on paper so far. Yeah, so he says he likes to play hard and work harder. Then he puts, "I love to play, so I'll work very hard." I just thought, sometimes these men have no depth on this show, because the man just said the same damn thing twice, to be fair. Yeah, it seems like Meg seems to like him, but Helena already feels an ick. For, okay, we'll push on ahead. We'll push on ahead. Do you know what I mean? So Harry is 30. He's a commodities trainer. He's 6 foot. And basically his blurb is about he's a husband in training. He's a wild card and not afraid to get it. And this seems to be what certain galleys like to hear, because Sophie seems to like him, because basically she more or less zeroed in on the husband comments. She thought this dude is going to be serious coming up in here, because that's what she is. She's very much serious. Shakira basically turns around and says she sounds like a finance boy and she don't want nothing to do with no finance boys. So we'll see how that plays out from there. So Connor has written he's 26. He's a pro rugby player. He's 6'1". And yeah, the blurb that he put down weren't it either. I'm like, I don't think they really thought with their cerebral cortex. Do you know what? You're literally trying to impress women here. What is it you really want to put out there about yourself to make you attractive to the women that you want to find you attractive? It's just not giving at the end of the day. So then you have Blue. He's 26, a project manager. He was 5'9". Quite short. Hey ho, I'm 5'3", so you know the height difference would have emptied out. They seem to like what he wrote down. They really did. So then you have Tommy, 22. He's a 6'1". He's a gardener. They believe that his blurb was a little bit more rehearsed. And I thought, but yeah, you like have to pick a boy based on what they've said anyway, without looking at them first. So you're literally going to have to go by the paper that's been written down. Are you going for personality, or are you picking via looks at the end of the day? So basically they have to then, the girls have to then go in front of these, behind these love hearts of who it is they want to pick. So Shakira went for Ben, Meg went for Dijon, Sophie went for Harry, Helena went for Connor, Alima went for Blue, and Megan went for Tommy. Let's again remind you that these pics were sight unseen, yeah. And I just thought, okay then, so when the geezers start walking out, because you know they're going to come out at some point, yeah, will they change their minds? So even before the guys walked out, Helena wanted to swap because she didn't want the rugby player. My thought was, that was a poor decision on her part in the first place, because she point blank said that her icks are rugby players. So why in the fuck did she pick Connor in the first place? Why did she pick Connor in the first place when his actual blurb said he is a semi-professional rugby player? I don't know why she picked that dude in the first place. Like, honestly, why did she pick him? Anyway, Helena seemed to want to go for Sophie's choice, which was Harry. And Sophie basically said to Helena, like, after she's met Harry, spoken to him, she'll give her a debrief basically, and then let her know if it's a goal for her. That was Sophie being kind at the end of the day. So I'm gonna say that I think it's kind of hard, and I ain't gonna be ageist when I say this, because I'm older than all of them up in there. Let me just say that I am older than all of them up in there. Yeah, that the gal is on the cusp of 30. Yeah, Love Island game ain't for them. Love Island game ain't for them. All I'm going to say, if you're past the age of 25 or 26, yeah, it never necessarily works out, because you won't get someone on that even page with you, because even when Helena was looking at the other men and she looked over at I can't remember who was stood next to her, and she says, oh, I don't want no 22-year-old, because she's nearing 30. And this is what I mean, the Love Island ain't for them. It really ain't for them, and I'm being honest when I say that. It really ain't. It ain't being ageist or anything like that. When you look at the older generation, when they do go in there, as I see it as the older generation, when they're actually not. They're actually not. They're still quite young. Yeah, it never works out for them. Never works out for them. But we'll see if I can be proven wrong at the end of the day. So we see Shakira meets Ben, because the guys start to come in. She definitely likes what she sees. So we meet Ben. We get a little blurb about him. All I'm going to say is the arrogance was coming off in droves. I ain't gonna lie, this man rated himself out of the hemisphere, to be honest with you. And he says basically right now his love life is in a shambles. He's a cheeky flirt, and he says he likes being in a relationship, but he ain't giving off relationship vibes. He is not giving off relationship vibes to me. Let me just put it that way. So Ben said that he was happy with Shakira. Remember that, yeah? Ben said he was happy with Shakira, and we'll back and come again on that one. So next up was Meg. So she ends up meeting Dijon. And all I'ma say is when Dijon walked out, Meg did not look impressed to me. Dijon to me was gorgeous. He's a dark-skinned black man. He was tall. He was muscly. He's a personal trainer, yada, yada, yada. He's a good-looking dude. But did she show that? No, she did not. Yeah. So we end up meeting Dijon, and he says he's made wishes come true for some older women when he's been personal training, because they wanted to see him naked, and he made some wishes come true. Let's just put it this way, he has confidence in bags. Let's hope it doesn't fall into the arrogance sector as time goes on, but we'll see how he plays thus far. He talks about how he has a wandering eye and says he has too much love to give. He says he's working on the wandering eye bit, and I'm just kind of like, but Love Island is a place where you literally have to have your wandering eye on lock. Like, seriously, to see what's coming in, what interests you, da-da-da-da-da. You don't keep it to one person. So Maya turned around and asked Meg, so what do you think of Dijon? She turns around and says, oh, I'm about 50-50. And I thought, 50-50 for what? 50-50 for what? I just thought to myself, straight away, it hit my head. This girl don't like them dark. She don't. So Maya did ask her, what does that mean? And I was literally watching and listening hard for her answer. She said, I don't know, it's his eyes. Because she hasn't seen his eyes, because she does like to look at a person's eyes. And I thought, you're fucking full of bullshit, Meg. Like, full of bullshit. Because you know you couldn't stand on big broadback TV, yeah, and turn around and says, well, I don't usually go for people of Dijon's type, to be honest with you, because that's the vibe that was coming to me, that she don't go for black men. Like, seriously, that's the whole vibe I was getting from her. But you, like, if you find anything different, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the vibe I was getting from this girl, and it's still the vibe after I've watched this whole episode that I'm still getting from this girl. So then we get to Sophie, and she ends up meeting Harry. There was no claps for this man when he walked out. Everybody was clapping for everybody else, but no claps for this man when he walked out. So Harry basically said that in his blurb, he's a semi-pro footballer. And basically he said he's enjoying single life. He ended the relationship a year ago, and now he's enjoying the life he's having. Now he's ended that relationship. So what the fuck is he doing in Love Island? I thought, do we have a Peter Pan man here? We'll see. We'll see. He ain't all that. Let me just say that he ain't shabby, he ain't ugly, but I would say beauty's in the eye of the beholder at the end of the day. He says he's a hopeless romantic. He says he's dating with a purpose. But I'm like, how can you date with a purpose when you just raw said you are enjoying your single life then? At the end of the day, he's enjoying his single life. So how is he going to be in there dating with a purpose when his last relationship ended a year ago? Please tell me that. Okay, so Sophie seems to like him, but Helena speaks as well and says that she may like him too. And the look that Harry gave Helena, maybe he will give her a run. Let's just put it that way. So Helena ends up meeting Connor. And Connor's actually quite a good looking chap. He's quite a good looking chap. He's short. Let's put it that way. He ain't tall. He's from Limerick in Ireland. He isn't too arrogant to me on first glance, to be honest. He wasn't too arrogant the way he was coming across. Even though he says that that's people's first impression of him, I didn't see that in the slightest. So Connor basically does like Helena. And Helena does bring up the fact that, you know what, I don't like rugby players. But she does like the look of Connor at this moment in time. So we go to Alima. And you can see that Alima likes Blue as he's walking out. And then we meet Blue in his blurb. He has some arrogance. Let me put it this way. He does talk about how he was Spanish born. I essentially did not believe that he would be with Alima for long, to be honest with you. He likes Alima from first impressions, but Blue says that he feels good meeting Alima. And when the crux of it is when Maya asks him, like, you know, what do you think of our Alima? He talks about everybody being gorgeous, and the question wasn't that. At the end of the day, the question was, what do you think of Alima? At the end of the day, forget about everybody else, because don't get me wrong, they are beautiful. The girls are beautiful, but we're focusing on Alima here at the end of the day, because she picked your ass. I think that set the fire's toning down for Alima. But I do think that when it came to Blue and his reaction to Alima, it was a little bit flat, if I'm to be frankly honest. So then you see Megan meets Tommy. We meet Tommy on his blurb. His arrogance is off the charts, to be honest with you. He's total mummy's boy. He says he gets attention from the girls, and I think that must be down to the gift of the gab that he likes. And Megan is completely all for Tommy, and he likes Tommy, and he likes her too. So the couples right now are Shakira and Ben, Sophie and Connor, Megan and Tommy, Alima and Blue, Connor and Helena, Meg and Dijon, and Sophie and Harry, basically. So you see the guys splitting off to go speak to each other, and the girls going off to speak to each other. Megan is talking about how she's happy with Tommy, and Tommy has confirmed like he's buzzing with Megan. But as he says, there's a few sorts in the villa, so we'll see what happens from here on out. And this is why I said the wandering eye won't be too far behind, let's put it that way. So Blue did say at this point that he was happy with Alima, but Alima is not feeling Blue in the slightest, yeah. And that was due to the response he gave to Maya's question, yeah, in how he felt about him picking Alima when he complimented all the girls. But I'm just like, it's the first day. Let's see how it goes. Let's be seeing what pops at the end of the day. Sophie is basically saying that she is not feeling Harry at all. I knew she wouldn't. I think he is more Helena's type. That's all I'm gonna say. I think he is more Helena's type. They both have kind of a similar look. And no, I'm not coming for the looks. I just didn't see Sophie with Harry. She looks more suited to Dejan, if I'm honest. But you know what? Dejan seems to be settling his lot with Meg, who I don't think is attracted to him in the slightest. So Ben said, like, he's happy with his couple. But you know what? Bombshells and all that. And I thought, my man's head is already on a swivel and no one ain't even come in yet. So that's how I know Ben ain't feeling Shakira. He really is not feeling Shakira. And Shakira already is like talking about how she's attracted to him, yada yada yada. And I'm just like, at this moment in time, it's the first meet, first couple up. You like need to start playing it calm and start putting all your eggs in one basket as soon as you meet a dude and you both hit it off. Because whatever Shakira is thinking, Ben is not thinking the same thing. Let me just put it that way. They're not on a no even trajectory at all. They're both askew. They're both this way. So you see Colin and Helena have a chat. And she did tell Connor that, you know what, my ick is rugby boys. So he was confused, as I was confused, as he asked, well, why did she pick him for? Because his plaque clearly said rugby freaking player at the end of the day. So she basically talks about how she's never had any boyfriends. And I like the fact that Connor was very blunt and asked Helena, are you the problem, basically? Because that's what I was thinking. I ain't gonna lie. So she basically says it's a bit of both. she says she doesn't want to be asked with a relationship if she ain't gonna marry the person, otherwise she's gonna stay celibate, sort of thing. So he said he's only had one girlfriend and it was for 8 weeks. I'm like, this show's for 9 fucking weeks, my dude. Are you gonna be able to last beyond that, to be honest with you? So I'm just like, he turned around and he says that he's looking for a girlfriend in Love Island and he necessarily doesn't really go for blondes. And I thought, for backside's sake, man, she picked you. She don't like rugby boys. You went, she's okay, but you don't really necessarily go for blondes. Could the opposite's more attractive in this situation at the end of the day? But after speaking to Connor, Helena did say that he kind of surprised her. Like, kind of surprised her in how he was. He's completely different to the persona that she thought she was going to get. So you see Harry speaks to Sophie. And he told Sophie that, you know what, he liked his fakes. That's what she was speaking about. And he liked the fact that she chose him because he likes a girl in red. So basically, Sophie explained her reasoning for picking Harry. And she talked about the fact that he put down, like, you know, the marriage bit. And that's what she is. She's very serious. She's dating for marriage. And she basically doesn't know if she had a vibe with him. And I'm like, they're having an actually good conversation, to be fair. And Sophie is very intentional in what she says to this man. So she does talk about the fact that, you know what, she was caught in a fire accident, which is why you can see the scarring to her chin. And she talks about how that shaped her going forward, especially with other people, and what it is that she's looking to get out of life. I'ma say from now, Sophie is cool as hell. I like Sophie, yeah. Nothing can make me derail from this woman unless she does something really heinous. Let me just put it this way. So Harry, you see him talk in the hut, the Love Island hut. And he basically says that Sophie has her head screwed on. She's very mature, but maybe a bit much for him. And I thought, mate, but didn't your love heart say that you were in here to be serious? And this is what I mean. They ask for what they want, they put it down. I think to impress people, they get what it is that they're asking for, but then boom, they can't handle it. And this is exactly what Harry is showing with Sophie. But Sophie's already said that she ain't feeling the vibe from this guy. So she's already cutting off ties. So she is literally trying to push Helena into that forefront with Harry because she doesn't think her and Harry are gelling. And I would agree with her at the end of the day. So you see Alima speaks to Blue. And Blue basically turned around to Alima and said, like, on paper, she is not his type. And the question for me would be, what is your type? Because I guarantee you, Blue doesn't do black girls either. More than likely, let me put it this way. That's how I'm seeing it at the end of the day. So Alima points out and she makes her points clear. But within the conversation that she has with Blue, she doesn't necessarily allow Blue to get a word in edgewise, to be honest with you. But my thing is what I said to you previously. Blue had already said to the lads that he was happy with his choice. Now we know these people are not above lying up in this place at the end of the day, because Blue was lying like a mofo at the end of the day. You see how face favour some of these people are in here. Yeah, Blue may be more suited to Meg, is what I'm saying. I don't see her being with Dijon for too long. So then we see Ben, Shakira, Megan and Tommy are on like the balcony or the terrace and they're having a chat. And let's just put it this way, if the looks Ben past Tommy was anything to go by, when Shakira was talking about what she likes in a man, Ben ain't feeling her. Ben is not feeling her. And I have a feeling that Ben will waste Shakira's time. He will literally have her hanging on a line, yeah, until he finds the type that he wants, because Shakira is not it for him, yeah. What Shakira needs to do is start getting to know other men up in that place. That's what Shakira needs to do. So Meg, you see, speaks to Dijon, and Dijon says that he was not sure he was happy Meg chose him when she asked. So Meg turns around and says, oh, well, why do you say that? And I'm like, my girl, are you that dense? Do you have to ask why? Because it came across as you don't like black dudes. You've never dated a black dude, and definitely not one as dark as Dijon. Yeah, because my answer was, why was she 50-50 about him? And her answer that she gave about the eye shit was flimsy at best. Let me put it this way. And this is how I'm saying that Alima and Dejan are going to be the token black people in this season unless they don't get voted out pretty quickly. Do you know what I mean? So Dejan said basically to Meg, it was her comment. So she then turned around and she says, okay, basically what it was is that you said you like to party hard, and basically you like to party to 3 or 4 in the morning. Not saying that she doesn't do that at all. And I just thought your answer was full of the bully crap, my love. Like absolutely full of the bully crap, yeah, because it's all in her reactions to Dejan, and it's the backtracking for me right about now. So he took that away though and said, well, what would it be if I took all of what I said about the party and away? So she turned around and says, well, it would be 100, wouldn't it? I thought, bollocks would it? Bollocks would it? My gut instinct, I'm telling you, my gut instinct feels it right here, sir. She not like Dejan. She don't, and she's lying through her teeth at the end of the day. So Dejan, the muckwit that he fucking is, turns around and says that he's happy with his choice with Meg. And I thought, my guy, how could you be taken in so quickly by this girl? Are you not reading her literal signs, her language in terms of how she's speaking to you, her whole facial features, the fact that she can't look this dude in the eye to let him know that she likes him like that when she don't? She really don't. I know it's early days, yeah. Meg then turns around and says that she is happy with her choice. All I'm going to say is Morris said it was a lie. That's all I'm going to say on that one. So far, I've already said I like Sophie and Alima up in here. The boys, I don't necessarily know who I like, but Connor is a good one because I think he's quite funny, to be honest with you. And he's definitely not shy in coming forwards in terms of what it is that he wants to say. So we get to the night time when they're all getting ready. So we see Shakira and Ben chatting first and foremost. And he already saying that Shakira is going to be hard work. And this is where I took from here. He's looking for excuses not to be with this girl already. And he talks about how if a person is too much, then it can put him off. And he basically said to Shakira that, you know what, it's all right handling it, but putting up with it is another thing. I thought, my God, this man is already finding fault with Shakira and I don't even know her at all. Ben is a bogus little shit. He can't wait to trade Shakira in. Let me just put it that way. He can't wait to trade her in. So Tommy and Megan talk. Tommy is basically buzzing that Megan picked him and she is his type, but for him, as he says, it's early days, which it is. They only just met these people today. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, so Dejan grabbed Meg again. And from the way that he seated down and the way that she kind of was writing herself and pushing herself over, she don't like Dejan. I can see all over this girl. She don't like him. She don't. She has no other choice right now with the others because she doesn't see anybody there that suits her, basically. So she is going to sit there and let Dejan sit there and make a fool of him damn self with her. Yeah, because when the man comes in, that is all her. See how quick she drops Dejan. Let's see how quick she drops that man, yeah? So Dejan, gut instinct is not giving her that vibe at all, yeah? But Dejan is liking her more than she's liking him. So they talked about what they had in common, the fact that they both moved away from home when they were 16. They both love their grandmothers and X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Dejan is taken in by Meg, but with Meg, I don't see it. I'm being honest to God. I don't see it with her. I really don't with this man. So then in starts walking Maya Jama. And you know, once Maya Jama walks in, the fuckeries are now going to come thick and fast with this bullshit. Let me just put it this way. So she ends up gathering them all by the fire pit. And I thought, okay, let the games begin. Right, so Meg says basically that she's gone from 50-50 to 100 in terms of her outlook on Dejan. Bollocks. That's what bollocks. That's all I'm going to say on that. Shakira and Ben are in limbo already. That's what they said. They said they fancy each other, but they're in limbo already. Again, bollocks. So in comes Tony, American girl. She's basically tired of American boys, apparently. All I want to say is, I don't want to keep going for looks and stuff, because you're going to think that I have an issue with looks, and I really don't, yeah. Because I'm an average looking person myself. She ain't all that. I'm going to be honest with you. All the men's eyes were bugging when she walked in, and all the girls' mouths were wide as if to say, shit, what the fuck is happening now? Here is what is happening now. Tony has to steal a boy of her choice right then and there. Okay. And all I wanted her to pick, and who I wanted her to pick, was Dijon, because I didn't think Meg deserved him at the end of the day. Ben was doing the side-eye thing, and I thought, Ben is looking hella thirsty right about now. Like, honestly looking thirsty right about now. He's looking like, I actually want to be picked. Shakira was hoping that Ben would not get picked, because Shakira wanted to hold her claws into this man come hell or high water, because you know what, I'm sorry, but Ben is showing a bit of a red flag situation for me in how he's behaving right now. Tony picked Ben. Ben was not disappointed, because he was thirsty anyway. So the fuck she is, Shakira's now single. She had to stand up. She wasn't being dumped tonight. Oh no, she wasn't being dumped tonight. But it was a hollow freaking victory, because she could be dumped tomorrow night. Let's just put it this way. She has to find a connection with one of the other lads in 24 hours and get that other lad to couple up with her, and she will be safe. But if they do not couple up with her, she's not going to be safe. She will be going home tomorrow. But if they couple up with her, the person that the lad was coupled up with will take her place and will be dumped. And I says, well, it's about time this show started to get a little bit brutal. Do you know what I mean? It really was. And that's where that episode ended. And we'll come back to the next episode tomorrow for regular, scheduler, megular chat. But because I will be going on holiday for 10 days, I won't be doing any videos within that time except to do my vlog while I'm away for my holiday, so you'll see that. So hopefully I will be able to watch episodes as they continue and be able to take some notes while I'm away, and then I'll get back on it when I come back. As I say, my renegades, yeah, this is where I'm gonna leave you. As I always say, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button for when you know I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share, and do the good things that you do, because you know I'm on the road, continue to be on the road to 1K. And now I'm back on your screens for a while. Come in, chat, do those things. Peace out.